Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm humbled and honored to be here today. I'd like to begin by thanking Kendra Wallace and the rest of the committee for their tireless efforts in making today happen. It's evident that a lot of hard work went into making this occasion special for all of today's recipients and knowing that Daddy be safe during the day. Thank you to all my friends on the Board of Women Working Wonders. I've learned so much from you, and I know many of you are honorees today and past recipients. I've learned so much from your leadership, and I value your friendship. I've never worked for an organization that hasn't been headquartered in the city of Lowell, except for a brief stint on the Constitution Against Discrimination.
Going down the driveway, you name it. We would come home and there would be furniture deposited on our driveway because people began to know that this is something Barb and Ira did. We were getting healthy, we were eating well, we were sleeping well, we were socializing, we were using our minds. It was the perfect example of how to retire. In 1999, it's a shame that they've been homeless. We do people who have had fires, people who have had floods. I remember some of the families from Lowell a few years ago came in the spring flood, and then they were back in the fall because there was another. Volunteers are what makes our organization work. No volunteers, no work. No donors, no work. It's just an amazing experience to see to see his definition or the other. Consequently, I can stand here and say, I love our donors, I love our clients, and I love our volunteers.
So I have a memory. I was about 10 years old. I remember this one time of many, when I was riding on the Orange Line, the L from Haymarket Station to Sullivan Square in Charlestown. I was with my dear late mother. It was cold out, and it was dark, and it was a Saturday night, likely around 7 p.m. We had taken this routine trip to Haymarket to coincide with the vendors closing up their fruit stands, vegetable stands, because it was that time when the bargains were to be had. So we were on the subway coming home, and we were carrying our vegetables, the staples, cabbage, potatoes, and squash. The damn heaviest vegetables. However, they are also the densest. They fill up the bellies of hungry families and my big families, and those vegetables stretch a long way. At Old Thompson Square in Charlestown, an old man who looked bad and smelled worse got on the train. To my shock, he took a seat alongside my mother. My mother would have been a bit younger than I am at this moment in time, and she was raising 6 children with very little support from her husband. I remember thinking when this old man got on this train and sat next to my mother, I said to myself, how did this creep even climb the stairs to the platform? Because he was so wobbly and blitzed. I remember thinking that. Very patiently lifted her head, suggesting a very deep understanding of this Paddy's woes. Now, owing to many factors, the heat of the car, the hunger in this man's belly, the quantity of alcohol consumed, or maybe just because he felt safe, his upper body leaned to his right and quickly ended up being supported by my mother's shoulders. He appeared not to notice. My mother did not indicate caring. But I, with as much indignant judgment as a headstrong 10-year-old can muster, said, "Ma, how can you let him lean on you? She looked at me with a gentle annoyance and said, there but for the grace of God, go I. This was it. In short order, we were at Sullivan Square and lugging all those vegetables off the train to the 95 bus. Life went on, and I would not think of this moment for 30 years, more than 10 years after my mother's death. I now know that this was the moment when I learned that there is no glory or goodness in condemning others. The moment I learned that service is a way to love. I suspect that all of us have had memories like the one I described. Eureka moments in our youth that influenced and defined us.
Ellen grew up in the Highlands, was a graduate of Lowell High School, and truth be told, Eleanor and I dated brothers back in high school 40 years ago. And we used to go to the cinema in Chelmsford. We dated the McCarthy Boys. So I have a personal connection with Ellen. I'm very pleased this morning to be able to introduce a friend from many years ago, Eleanor Littman. Thank you.
It was the cinema, it wasn't the drive-in. There is a literary parlor game or exercise launched by a literary magazine in which the challenge is to write a 6-word memoir. Nora Ephron famously submitted, "Secret to life, marry an Italian." No one's asked me for such a distillation, but mine might say, "Secret to life, come from Lowell." When I was growing up, Lowell
Joanne Weber. Nita Calkins was a beloved professor at UMass Lowell before a brain tumor took her life last April. She was nominated for the Salute to Women recognition by Chancellor Marty Meehan, who lauded her dedication to the university, her students, her co-workers, and the city of Lowell. Her death at age 62 left a huge void at the university. She was the person many students and faculty turned for comfort and advice. Even facing death, she thought of others and donated her brain to Massachusetts General Hospital in hope
Beautiful Rogers Fort Hill Park. Accepting on behalf of the Rogers Sisters is Dorothy Schechter, a longtime faculty member of Rogers Hall, who carried on the Rogers Sisters' legacy of educating young women. Please welcome Dorothy Schechter.
Amy Werner. Anyone who has ever heard Amy Werner speak knows how passionate she is about the great organizations in Lowell, particularly the ones that have had a positive influence on her life. Amy, now a senior vice president at Lowell 5, has never forgot her roots and devotes lots of time to community causes, including sharing the fundraising project for the new Lowell Community Center.
Congratulations to the
For this year and give 4 $5,000 grants to the following programs. Equine Encounter for Teens through Challenge Unlimited is a program which provides a unique leadership development opportunity for young girls at Ironstone Farm in Andover. Women Build at Habitat for Humanity in Westford challenges women from all walks of life to build and to advocate for decent, affordable houses in their own communities. Project Genesis at Merrimack Valley Housing Partnership in Lowell will fund a comprehensive series of training seminars for first-time women home buyers.